Welcome back to Orangeline. Before we send it to sports, Chris Smith took a closer look at Shawn Barber, Baker's newest football coach.
With the addition of a new running backs coach, the Baker University football team has made yet another connection to the National Football League. Shawn Barber played linebacker in the NFL for 10 years, including stints with the Washington Redskins, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Houston Texans, and the Kansas City Chiefs. But it wasn't until he took a job with KNBU Sports, the exclusive apparel provider for the Wildcat football program, that he became familiar with Coach Grossner's team. From his position, he began following BU and later expressed an interest in joining the coaching staff.
You know, personally, I have a dream to be a high school football coach. From playing 10 years in the NFL as a defensive linebacker, I have a lot of experience on defense, but not a lot on offense. So I just want to take the opportunity of having a couple of months to pick Coach Grossner's brains and trying to find out how this offense works.
Barber's #1 pupil, senior Richie Bryant, said Barber's defensive insights are actually helping him to be a more effective ball carrier for the Wildcats.
What he brings for us is him being a linebacker, you know, letting us know what the linebackers are looking for, you know, when they're trying to read a running back. So that helps me, like, and when I'm in offensive play, I'm like, okay, I know the linebacker is looking for this, so I might switch it up every now and then so he can't get a good read on me every time we come out in a certain formation or something like that.
Barber said his fond memories of playing football at the University of Richmond is what attracts him to the college level.
You know, being involved in the NFL for 10 years, it takes you away from that college atmosphere, that college feel. You know, college is probably the last example of just true, unadulterated, fun football. You know, it's not about checks, it's not about any endorsements, anything like that. It's just, you know, people playing for the love of the game.
With the majority of the running backs being veterans, Barber said he has not had to focus on teaching the fundamentals of the position, but rather educate the men on how to be strong-willed and high-character college athletes.
Most of my guys have been in the program, if not 1, 3, or 4 years, and so I don't have to teach them the X and O's of the game. I'm approaching them more from just a manhood, just how to respect, respect one another, how to be a true teammate, how to carry yourself with a positive posture, how to be a leader on the football field, and I think those characteristics will carry over, you know, from our running backs to the rest of our team.
In doing this, it might seem that a hard-nosed character sculptor like Barber might forget to have fun, but according to Bryant, that's not the case.
Coach Barber, he's a cool dude. He's laid back. I don't even think I've seen him get mad yet. He's a funny dude, one of the funniest dudes I've ever met, and he's just really laid back.
As a coach, he may be known for his friendly demeanor, but according to Barber, his #1 NFL memory is the time he showed Rich Gannon just how mean he could be.
When I was here in Kansas City, I was able to come off the, I think I came off the left side of the line of scrimmage on a Sam linebacker blitz, and they slid the line away from me, so I had a free shot on Rich Gannon, and it was early in the game, and I think he might have attempted one more pass, and that was the end of his career. So I don't think it was a dirty hit, but it was definitely a clean blow. And sometimes as a defender, you remember, if you ever put somebody out of a game, those are the hits you remember. So it's the hit I had on Rich Gannon.
Barber and the rest of the Wildcats will have another crack to get in the win column this Saturday at Avila. From Liston Stadium, Chris Smith, KNBU TV.
Thanks, Chris. Up next, we're going to send it to Collins Gym, where Zach, Rocky, and Chris Smith are on location for this week's Sports Chat.
Hello and welcome to the second installment of the Sports Chat. I'm Chris Smith alongside Zack Rocky here from Collins Center, the home of the Baker Wildcat volleyball team, who really put on a show this weekend.
That's right, Chris. Baker women's volleyball team went undefeated this weekend, meaning they won all 4 games, and the teams that they beat were Park University, Oklahoma City University, Ottawa University, and the University of Sioux Falls. Now, definitely the big win this weekend was Oklahoma City University. I've never seen the ladies beat them since I've been at Baker University, so that was really a big win for the ladies this weekend. Just some kind of key stats of this weekend. Brooke Pryor and Christina Deladio, they were named to the all-tournament team. Pryor had 55 kills and Deladio had 37 kills. So that brings the Wildcats, their season now 12-1 on the year, and they're looking to be in the top 25 this week for the first time under Coach Kathy Allen.
Definitely. Let's give them some love, pollsters. One team who will probably not be in the top 25, Baker football team, fell big to Mid-America, 45-13 over at Liston Stadium on blackout. It was a highly anticipated game, so I know the result for Coach G and his staff was a real disappointment. Let's go over some highlights real fast. Tyler Hurl, the quarterback from Mid-America, had a wonderful game, 12 for 20.
over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, and really the key to the game was big plays from Mid-America. They took a kick back 90 yards for a touchdown and then had a 78-yard bomb there in the second half. And on top of that, Baker just really couldn't get anything going defensively. Offensively, not statistically too bad, but just couldn't cap off drives. They gave the ball back too many times, 2 interceptions, lost a fumble as well. Just some sloppy play overall. But Mac Brown was able to get his numbers. Unfortunately, Brown got injured, which, as we know, the success of the Baker Wildcat football team really, really relies on his shoulders. So we'll look for him to hopefully be back next week, and we'll have his status in the next edition of Orangeline. But Brown went 25 for 45. He muscled out the entire game, played injured, 175 yards and 2 interceptions. Richie Bryant, was able to get going and got over 100 yards this game, which was obviously a plus considering last week was fairly dismal in the rushing attack. But Baker could not get it done this weekend. They travel to Avila next Saturday. All right, Zach, moving away from football to a sport you know and love, the golf team. Tell me what's going on with the golf team.
Well, the golf team will be traveling this week. We'll be traveling to Barber, Missouri, just outside of Springfield, and it's Evangel's home tournament. Just 2 players I really want to talk about are Mason Dick and Andy Sherman. They're 2 freshmen this year. They've been able to get themselves into the top 5, so I know Coach Exxon's expecting really big things out of them. And last tournament, for the first time that I've been a part of the Baker golf team, that we were actually able to shoot under 300. So hopefully things are kind of on the upswing for us. I know we struggled last year at conference, but hopefully we can turn things around and have everything ready at Barber this week.
Okay. Well, let's move on to 2 more incredibly successful teams here at Baker, the men's soccer team and the women's soccer team. First, the men, big victory over Vanguard, another ranked opponent. Men's soccer team remaining undefeated. Matt Germain had what might prove to be the most beautiful goal of the season. Komi Okioma beat his guy, swung the ball in, and Matt Germain diving headers at home for the win. Fantastic game. They won 2-1 there against Vanguard, and then went and played at a neutral site the next day against Southern Nazarene, who's always been a perennial top 25 team. They fell out this year, but again, we were able to get the result. Ethan Bauer, a freshman, got a big goal in that game for us. So the men looking to move into the top 5 in the national polls this week, something that we haven't seen here at Baker in quite a while. So congratulations, obviously, to Nate Hauser, Davey Phillips, and the men's soccer team. With the women's soccer team, great result like the men on Friday, and kind of a Jekyll and Hyde weekend. Saturday, a little tired, it might look like, against Southern Nazarene. They fell 3-0, but big win over another ranked opponent. That was their second in a row after McKendree on Friday. Michaela Medlock netting 2 goals for the Wildcats. She's in great form as a senior right now. And Alex Schiraldi, Christine Jansen's always still in the mix up top for the Wildcats. So we'll look for the women's soccer team to continue their form. All right, Zach, I think that's all we got for sports this week. For Zach Rocky, I'm Chris Smith. Let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks for that, guys. That concludes this week's episode of Orangeline. Thanks for staying tuned. I'm Kelsey Epperson.
And I'm Mary Loveland. We'll see you next week.
I should have been a cowboy. Should have learned to rope and ride. Wear my 6-shooter, ride my pony on a cattle drive. Stealing a young girl's heart, just like